Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Lose It Weight Loss and Nutrition. My name is Michelle, and I'm a certified weight loss, nutrition, and diabetes prevention health coach. I've also lost 121 pounds, and I currently follow the WW Blue, and I also calculate and follow my calories and macros. I want to talk to you today about the scale and some lessons learned and some experience that I would like to share with you in hopes that it helps support you along with your journey. I follow WW because I love the support that I get there, and I've met some wonderful people. I also follow it because in the beginning of my journey, I did not know what to eat, how much to eat, what kinds of foods to eat. I've been overweight my whole life, and I knew that I needed to learn how to nourish my body and take care of myself. I'm also a diabetic, and I unfortunately became very, very ill before I had the wake-up call that I needed to get healthier. I always seemed that I had time and I could put it off, but I was very uncontrolled diabetic. I was on 5 injections a day and was still way high in the blood sugar. I was very swollen. I retained water. I could barely walk. I was very uncomfortable. I went from couch to work. I had a hard time walking from my car inside to my job, and I worked in healthcare for 26 years. And even though I helped patients and educated patients, I didn't take care of myself. I always seemed to put others first, and I was definitely paying the price. So after I got very, very ill, I knew that my time was short, and that I was looking at possible amputations in my future, loss of sight, heart issues, and I decided I had to do something. So along my journey, I have learned so much, and my hopes in getting this education as a health coach is to reach out to others and help give them the information that they need to be successful, and to help set some realistic goals. So if you are interested in having your calories and macros calculated specifically to your health conditions, needs, age, and activity, or you're looking for behavior change one-on-one health coach sessions, please visit my website, www.loseitweightlossandnutrition. You can also reach out to me by email from that website on any other further questions you might have or inquiries. Today I wanted to focus on the scale because I see a lot of posts and comments, and the scale, oh, it has so much influence on us and on me. When I used to weigh myself every single day, and it would really affect how my day went, what my mood was for that day. And it's really sad that I gave that much of my energy to the tool, which is all it is, of the scale. If you weigh yourself every day, I cannot tell you enough how much I would recommend that you do your very best to wean to once a week to maybe once every 2 weeks. Now, following the WW plan, we check in every week. And even that I had a hard time with, because there's times when your body is adjusting. It's called the bounce back effect. And your body doesn't like to lose weight. And it needs time to readjust when it's functioning in an energy deficit. So our bodies, its default setting is to burn glucose for energy. It's its preference. And when it has an excess of that energy or calories, it's going to store it for later. And it's very, very happy because it's doing exactly what it needs to do. And your body works very hard to stay in balance and to store that energy to make sure you have all the fuel you need for function. When you're on a weight loss journey, we affect that process, and at first your body is okay. It doesn't realize what's happening, and you lose the first week to 3 weeks. You're going to lose a lot of the excess inflammation and water from your body. So you're going to see quite a big of a drop, and you're going to be so excited and happy, and this is working and everything is wonderful. At some point, your body is going to go, whoa, what's going on here? Because I keep losing all my backup storage. I'm losing all this fuel, and I don't like that. I want to make sure that I have enough energy to function. And so it needs to readjust. So what affects that readjustment? Well, our age, our metabolism rate, our activity. And so some of us will bounce back faster. If you have pre-diabetes or diabetes, it will be a slower process, you will find. And that's the time that the scale starts kind of messing with our emotions. So when I reach that part, because believe me, losing 120, 121 pounds, it's a long process. And we all know through what we have shared with each other that that process, you don't just go down in weight. It's just not a continuous drop. It's not realistic to think that way. So when your body slows down and says, whoa, I need some time to adjust, the scale may stop moving for you. It may even go up, or you may stay the same for a few weeks or longer. Now, I need to identify what a true plateau is, because sometimes people think if they stay the same weight or stay within the same 2 pounds for a few weeks that they're at a plateau, and that's not true. A plateau is staying at the same weight for longer than 4 weeks. So we need to make sure that we are understanding the difference between a true plateau where we need to do something to get that weight coming off of the body again, or is it just the balancing effect and the bouncing back effect where your body is just needing some time to readjust. Big difference in what we do in each circumstance. So because it affected my emotions so much and I had so much weight to lose, I really focused on the weight that I was that day of weigh-in, and we compare it to the week before. And doing that is not an accurate picture. It's a very detailed picture of where you are in the moment. And so we need to step back a little bit, especially when you have a long journey, and look at the picture a lot bigger, and we're looking for our trends. So what I do when I weigh in is I look at my weight 4 weeks prior. And when I look at that weight, I can see a big difference, a big change, and I feel very proud and accomplished. But when I look at it just week to week, that 0.2, that 0.4, that up a pound, that up 0.6, it's so hard on you emotionally, and it sets a tone, and it can get in the way of your success. I would recommend that for you. So if you are going to do the weigh-ins every week, then look back to 4 weeks. That's the weight that you're going to compare it to when you start judging your success. So let's say that you've been on your journey, you've just begun, and so you've had that honeymoon phase where we lose a lot of water and we're getting used to the new way of eating, and everything is going great, and we're very, very pleased with our success. At some point, your body is going to slow down or stay the same. And that's going to happen multiple times throughout your journey. And sometimes we just need to wait it out. Keep doing what we're doing and wait it out. Sometimes what happens is that your body is going up and down within the same 2 or 3 pounds, or you actually hit a true plateau where you've stayed the same or close to the same for longer than 4 weeks. When this occurs is when I started looking at my calories and macros. I started tracking that on top of. And the reason is because the WW uses a point system, like all of you know, and how they figure out those points has to do with the amount of protein, the amount of fat. It used to be the amount of fiber, but the new system is more about the sugar content and the protein. So there are days where I am right on track with my points and I'm at 1,000 calories. And that's usually because I may have a nut butter or something that's a little higher in points. And then there's those days where I am within my points and I'm at 1,500 calories a day. So why does it matter? It all balances out in the end, right? Well, for me, because of my conditions, because I'm prone to hypoglycemia, hyperglycemia, I'm a diabetic, I needed to know how much carbohydrates I was taking in, because carbohydrates is sugar to your body. Your body treats it the same. And so sometimes when I'm really hungry and I don't understand why I'm hungry, when I look at my calories and my macronutrients, I'm finding that I should be hungry because I only had 1,000 calories that day. And so it's not that necessarily that I'm going to change what I'm doing, but at least I understand why my body is doing that. So as we get older, our metabolism changes. If you have been trying to lose weight most of your adult life, for me it was all of my adult life, then you're prone to wanting those carbohydrates and wanting those cravings. Those cravings are real and they're there and they don't go away. So we need to learn to identify them and to give our body the actual nutrition it needs. If you have health conditions like diabetes, prediabetes, hypertension, thyroid, hormone issues, then your journey is going to be a lot different. For people that have been thin in their adult life and have gained weight, maybe you've retired recently, maybe you've had a child, then the WW plan is going to work because your metabolism is what we call normal or average. And it's going to bounce back a lot quickly. It's going to know what you're doing. Your body's going to adjust a lot faster. And you're going to have great success with just following the point system. Sometimes when we have underlying conditions and we're older and our metabolism is maybe sluggish because of trying to lose weight our whole life, or health conditions, or age, or less activity, whatever it is, we need that extra information. We need the extra information of how many calories we're taking in, how much protein we're taking in, and how much carbohydrates and fat we're taking in. It's very important to create that balance because our bodies have a hard time creating it all on its own. So if you find that you are staying the same or you're bouncing between those same 2 or 3 pounds for a period of time, please reach out and have your macros and calories calculated for specifically for you and your needs. What the daily recommendations come from is averages. So they'll do age averages. They will recommend 1,500 calories for everybody. They will set the protein. Everything's about protein right now. Protein, protein, protein. Low fat, no carb, regular carb. And why is it so confusing? Because the guidelines or the recommendations, when you set those proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, there is between 10 and 30% range to work in. And we don't all fall in to the same 20%, 30%, 10% fat. We don't fit that. Our bodies all have different needs. And you need to know what your needs are. And when you do hit these plateaus, or you are, bouncing back up and down and bouncing back up and down, then you know, by knowing your calories and macros, how to adjust it to get that scale going down again. Now that's kind of where I come in as a health coach, is I assist not only with the calculations specifically to your needs, but how to adjust those macronutrients, how to adjust that activity, how to help you with behavior changes. And some of us really need that. I know I did. And some of us, we're okay, we just need the information and then we can go from there. And we all are very different in our needs, and we're all different in our knowledge and our experience. And so my goal now, as I've been through my journey, is I want to help. I want to help those people that were just like me, that was overweight for most of their adult life, all their adult life, who've been on a diet since age 13, who always have thought of themselves as overweight no matter what their true weight was. These are the people that I am trying to help, because I want you to understand why your body functions the way it does. Now, please remember, as far as the scale, do your very best not to weigh in every day. It's really going to throw you off your journey. It's going to mess with your head. It's going to mess with your emotions. And it only gives you a picture in the moment. If you weigh yourself 3 times in one day, you're going to get 3 different numbers. If you weigh yourself twice at the same time of day, you're going to get different numbers. Because our bodies are always going through changes and processes and metabolism. And don't do that to yourself. It's not worth it. That's why I do the 4-week comparison, because I have such a long journey to go, and I want to be able to step back and see my trends. So for me to learn how my body functioned and how it lost weight, looking back and seeing the bigger picture, I realized that for my body, I would have staying on plan, the same plan, over a 6-week period. I found that I would have a loss of 2 pounds, let's say, and then I would stay the same the following week. The next week I would stay the same or go up, and that's when I would get really frustrated, because I was staying on plan. I would go up 1 or 2, and then the following week maybe stay the same. And the following week after that, I would drop 2.8 to 3 pounds. So when you step back and you see these trends, I'm realizing that I'm kind of doing the same process over and over again. And why is that occurring? Because my body is adjusting. And this is a good thing. And if you go down in weight and you stop, and you fluctuate a little bit, and you do not give your body enough time to adjust and react by cutting more points out, not using your weeklies, cutting your calories, you are going to create a tug of war with your body because your body is trying to survive and it's trying to stay balanced and it's trying to stay fueled and functioning. And that's when we start doing damage to our metabolism. So we need to step back. We need to look at bigger pictures. We need to reach out when we need help and lean on each other for that support, because there's so many people around us, Facebook groups and WW, that have been through the same journey. And let me tell you, even as you start approaching your goal weight, not much changes. The same thing that I'm doing today, I will need to continue to do, but I may get an extra 2 to 4 points, or I may get an extra 200 to 400 calories, depending on what my activity is. But really, it doesn't change. So we need to find a way that we can live this lifestyle. And that is why on my Facebook group, I always post recipes for real foods that we miss. Pasta and breads and 2-ingredient dough. And sometimes I get asked, well, Michelle, I see all these recipes, you know, for dough and carbohydrates and desserts. And I say we need to have that once in a while. If we're going to keep doing this long term, you need to find a way to make your treats a healthy version, nutritious, but you're still going to want and should be able to eat your treats. Now, not all the recipes that I post on my Facebook group or I do a YouTube video on is something that I eat every day. It's not. But I want to have the options, and I want to find my favorites. So when I feel that need, or when I'm at a family function or I'm around friends, I get to have a treat too. I'm not deprived, and I'm very satisfied with that treat. I strive and love to do recipe makeovers. It's a challenge to me. I love doing it, and when it works, it's just so great, and I can't wait to share it. Let me tell you, it doesn't always work, and there's a lot of food that I've had to throw away because it just didn't work out. But I've created some really delicious foods and recipes, and I hope that you will join me on my Facebook group and my YouTube videos, and look at my website to see what I can offer you in supporting you and helping you, and become part of those groups, because there's a lot of great things coming. I offer support, I offer education, I offer recipes, I offer food finds, and so much more. So I hope that you will join me. There's one other item that I would like to talk about and share with you. I have seen multiple dietitians. I've seen multiple nutritionists. And I've had some success, and I've learned a lot about portion control and choosing the right foods. They've helped me very much in that capacity. And if you are pre-diabetic or a new diabetic or have another health condition and your physician recommends you seeing that nutritionist or dietitian, absolutely do that. Do that, because it's important, and it's good to have that foundation to build on of knowledge. Now, at some point, I felt like I got everything that I could from them. And let me tell you what that means to me. Is I've never seen a nutritionist or a dietitian that's had a weight problem. And you can throw all the numbers that you want at me, and you can throw serving sizes at me, and you can recommend how many carbs I have in a meal or a snack. But unless you've been in the struggle, it's very hard to identify. And so what I found was they just wanted to cut more calories, cut more carbs, cut more calories, cut more carbs, cut serving sizes. And it was very frustrating to me because I could not be successful. I couldn't stay on plan. And it's not to their fault. It's not that they don't have the education. It's just they don't know the emotional side. They don't know the binging side. They don't know the comfort that food brings to some of us, and that it can be our best friend. It can be our stress reliever. And not ever having experience in that struggle, I just reached everything that they could offer me a little bit faster. And also, know your instincts. If it's recommended that you go under 1,500 calories, you need to question that. You need to say, why? Why? Because if you're going under 1,500 calories, you definitely need to be under a physician or a dietitian's care, because your body is not always going to get the needs, the nutritional needs on those low calorie diets. Please don't go under 1,500 calories without seeing a professional. For sure, never go under 1,200 ever, because your body needs between 1,200, depending on you, 1,200 to 1,500 calories a day just to function. Average that I found is 1,400 plus, just to function. That means that you lay down, you sleep, and you don't do anything else. So how are you going to have the energy to do all the things that you have to do when you're only getting enough calories for your body just to lay and function? It's setting us up for failure. We're not going to be successful long term. So if you would like more information on this, I'm going to give the information to my website and my Facebook group and YouTube. You already have. It'll be in the description box. And I would be so happy for you to join me on my journey and join all of my friends and Facebook group on their journeys. And I want to see long-term success for you, and I want to see you be happy, and I want to see you be healthy, and I want to see you grow very, very old. And I thank you for watching today, and I wish you a very, very happy day. Goodbye.